Hello all my beautiful and bookish people. It's Rose here, and for today's video we are going to be chatting about high-end makeup. Now, when I started this channel, I mentioned that I wanted to keep this more on the drugstore affordable end for the everyday person. For everyday kind of people, not everybody can afford to go out and spend hundreds of dollars on makeup. And you can find really good quality makeup for a lot less money than you think. But every once in a while, we want to treat ourselves. And for some people, that means going out and buying that expensive hardcover book in that new edition that you've always wanted. I'm that kind of person too. But for people that are really into makeup, that might mean splurging on a palette or a lipstick. You know, something that makes you feel beautiful. And that's what's important in makeup, is being able to use it to enhance your inner beauty and make you feel good about yourself, make you feel confident. So if that's a drugstore item that can do that for you, by all means, save your money for something that's more important, like a book. Today's video, I'm just going to be focusing on some of the high-end makeup that I own and telling you some of the gems that I have found that I definitely think are worth the money, and some of the ones that kind of flopped. And one more thing before we get started, I want to mention that you don't always have to buy high-end makeup at Sephora or Ulta. I have found many of these products at TJ Maxx or Burke's, and although you do have to be careful to make sure that seals aren't broken, that they haven't been touched or swatched, or that they are expired, you can find some really good gems there. And so some of my high-end makeup has come from places like that. So as those items appear, I will be telling you where I got them, if I bought them for full price or got them for cheaper somewhere else. And so just keep that in mind. If you do decide that you want to splurge a little bit more, there's always the option of going to stores like that and hunting down some more high-end products for a better price. So without further ado, let's get started. I hope you guys enjoy this video. First off, we're going to talk about the flops. I think it would be better to end on a high note, so we're going to start off with what didn't work for me. So first off, like I mentioned, I have found some high-end products at Burke's Outlet, and I don't know if they have these everywhere. I know that we have one where I live. I know that they have them other places, but I don't know where or how many there are in the country. But I have found some makeup from a brand that I didn't even know had makeup, and that is Laura Ashley. I know that she made like bedding and stuff. My grandmother, shout out to you, has some of her bedding in one of her guest bedrooms, so I've heard the name before, and I was wandering through the Burke's makeup section and I found Laura Ashley makeup, and I was incredibly confused but definitely intrigued, so I decided to pick some up. I also found some of my Laura Ashley stuff at TJ Maxx. We will cover that when we get to it. But out of all of the things that I have, and I have quite a few items from her in a range of things, the things that I love the most typically are her lip products. I am wearing a Laura Ashley lipstick today. But the flop from her collection that I have found are the liquid lipsticks. And I have these in two shades. I wore this shade with a gloss on top of it in my Gryffindor makeup look from yesterday's video. You can go ahead and check that out if you were interested in seeing some other things. And these are not that great. And I'm really sad to say that because I really do love her other lip products. They are just not opaque in one coat. They are very, very pretty colors, but they're not opaque in one coat. They dry down, they dry out the lips, and they're just not worth it. Now, I did find them at Burke's for like $3.99 a piece, and each one came with a lip liner, and the lip liners are absolutely fantastic. But these smudge very easily. They dry out my lips, like I mentioned before, and are just not my favorite liquid lip formula. And I am honestly not a liquid lip person in general. I am definitely more of a traditional lipstick kind of gal, but if I am going to be using a liquid lip, I want ones that are comfortable to wear and ones that are not going to have to be a constant going to have to be constantly reapplied throughout the day. So these are a hard pass for me. I will continue to use them because I spent money on them. You can make them work, but for my recommendations, if you're going to buy a Laura Ashley lip product, go for her actual lipsticks. Flop, which is the only other flop I have, surprisingly, is going to shock some people, and that is this All About Shadow palette from Clinique. Now, I know people in my family that absolutely love Clinique products. You know who you are. And I actually received this as a gift a couple Christmases ago, and I really enjoyed it. When I was a beginner to makeup, it was, you know, easy to use. But as I have gotten more invested into kind of the world of beauty, I realized that the quality of these shadows are not what they should be for a brand that is well known and as expensive as Clinique can sometimes be. Swatch some for you. This is the kind of black shade. The deeper purple. They're very like smoky and not necessarily pigmented. There's also a ton of fallout. They are quite dusty. I don't know if y'all can see that. But they fade very easily on the eyes. They don't last all day. And I would just not recommend it. There are other higher end palettes that I would definitely recommend. Clinique has some really good skincare, some really good foundation, but as far as eyeshadows go, I have not found their powder formula, at least, to be worth it. Now let's talk about some hits, some really good products. I have another eyeshadow palette. This is a good one from TJ Maxx, and this is a Laura Ashley palette. I actually used this to create my Slytherin look for the Hogwarts House makeup. This is a neutral kind of pinky gold palette. It can go from day to night very easily. Though there are not many matte shades in here, the shimmers are quite good. It comes with a brush that just went flying. It's actually a fairly nice brush. I actually used this gray silver to kind of give more of like a darker smoky look to my Slytherin eyeshadow look that came out kind of purple. And it worked wonderfully in the center of the eye. With a little bit of setting spray, it really brought it out. Like full price, like $30, and at TJ Maxx it was like $10. I also got another Laura Ashley palette from there that I also quite enjoy, but this one is one that I wanted to share in particular because, again, it's something that I've used on this channel, something that you've kind of seen the colors and how they blend out, so it does blend out beautifully. But also, I don't know if any of you noticed, but it is very reminiscent of an Urban Decay Naked palette. Now, I wouldn't go so far as to say that it is a dupe, but I quite like the color story in this. It definitely reminds me of that. I believe it's like the Urban Decay Naked 3 that kind of has the more rosy tones to it, which is one that I was considering, you know, investing in. But seeing this one, but seeing as I have this one, I don't think that's something that I would ever really, you know, splurge on because it does have the kind of pinky tones that I personally tend to go for. But even just like the packaging, you know, it's got a nice mirror, but like the shape of the packaging, it's in like a tin kind of feel to it. You can kind of see the edges. I don't know, it's just the kind of little cuts at the bottom. It's just very, very reminiscent to me of a Naked palette, and I think if you're someone who's like into that kind of look, or maybe someone who's into a little bit more of the pinks and the purples, this would be a good investment for you if you can, you know, find it at a TJ Maxx or a Burke's. That this one is definitely one that I would highly recommend. It is technically a more high-end piece of makeup that you can find for cheaper at some of your local stores. Laura Ashley lip products that you can find at TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Burke's. I absolutely love them. So I have 3 shades of the actual lip sticks. I'm actually wearing this shade today. I cannot remember what shade this is. They're very, very creamy, very nice, and they have a little bit of a shine to them, which is something that I actually appreciate. Now, if you're like a completely matte person for lipsticks, then you won't enjoy that. But for me, typically I wear a lipstick and then put a gloss on top. And so with these, I don't necessarily need to do that until they kind of dry down. Lipsticks come in little sets with a matching lip liner. I don't always use them because these are very easy to apply. You don't necessarily need them unless you're trying to, you know, overline your lips. But along with the lipsticks, which are a favorite of mine, the Laura Ashley glosses are also ones that I enjoy a lot. I have 2 sets of them. They come in sets of 2. This is a light pink, and I'm actually going to put it on top of my lipstick to kind of show you guys just how good. It's got a little teeny tiny kind of doe foot. They're just so pretty. They're just so pretty and something you can, you know, wear on their own or wear on top of a lipstick like this. I am a gloss person. I know that's very early 2000s, but I am on board with the gloss. So if you're into glosses or you need like a higher end gloss, you can pick up these little Laura Ashley sets. I believe it's $5 for 2 of them, and it was originally like $20, I want to say. So if you can find these at your local TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Burke's, go ahead and pick them up because they are definitely worth it. Other lip products that I enjoy would be any Anastasia Beverly Hills lipstick. This is the shade Soft Pink. This is my favorite shade. This is kind of my go-to one. I actually picked up this one at TJ Maxx for like $7.99. They're originally like $24, $25. Definitely ones that I would be willing to splurge on. If you're, you know, at a TJ Maxx or Marshalls and you're looking for a new lipstick, you can go for any Anastasia one, or if you were looking to splurge and pay full price, they have a great range of colors. Soft Pink is my favorite. Last product I want to talk to you about is one that I did pay full price for, and one that is not available in any stores, only available online, and that is one that I'm sure you might have guessed because I've mentioned this person quite a few times. Tati Beauty Textured Neutrals Volume 1 Eyeshadow Palette. I am a huge Tati fan, if you cannot tell. I think she is an amazing makeup artist and a really sweet person, and when she launched her makeup brand, I was so excited to get a chance to really see what she could do as far as like makeup formulas go. And this was her first palette that she launched. I was able to get it in the first batch, and this is her Textured Neutrals of Volume 1. I love this so much. I used this in my Gryffindor look in the Hogwarts House makeup. It comes with this massive mirror here. And the shadows are beautiful. You know, it's kind of a palette for everyone, which is how she kind of marketed it. You can see that, you know, you could do everything from kind of a natural everyday look with these browns and this kind of orange, to kind of something a little more on the pink spectrum, which I do for my kind of natural everyday look. I love to mix kind of the Poet and the Aura columns, and of course you can go more smoky with Memory and Ritual, and all of the different formulas give you a lot of room to play. So the setup of this is obviously very important. There's 6 columns, and each one has a name to it, and then within that it is the same color but in different formulas, so you can kind of mix and match. I kind of tend to stay towards this end of the palette, typically because I am more of that kind of pinky toned kind of person. That's what I tend to go for more than the browns, but I do dip into Story quite a bit. So in each one, Memory is the black, Ritual is the dark brown, Story is the orange, Soothe is the more neutral brown, Aura is the very light pink, and Poet is this kind of really pretty purple red color. And then in each row you have a matte shade, a sequin formula, which is kind of her own kind of invention. They're very pretty, a metallic, and then a pressed glitter. The glitters are really great. They are really good glitters, but they are definitely ones that I have not played with a lot because I haven't really had the courage yet. I mean, I've played with everything else on this palette, but the glitters are just not where I'm at yet. I don't really wear a lot of glittery, like super glittery eyeshadow. Shimmers, I'm all for. Metallics, I'm all for. Glitters, I don't have the confidence for yet, but we'll get there one day, and when we do, I have Tati's palette to play with. I just absolutely love this. It was about $54. I believe it's restocked. I don't know if she's shipping currently or not. That's something you'd have to check her website for. But I think it's definitely worth it. This was definitely worth the money. This is something I've gotten a lot of use out of in everything from everyday to, again, like my Hogwarts house look, where I did a Gryffindor look with this. I love this palette so much. I will never not gush about it. I know this was like a favorite palette of 2019 for a lot of people. It's just so versatile. It can go everything from someone who's just, you know, your normal everyday person like me to someone who is a makeup artist. Because it has so many colors and so many different formulas, it's just so versatile, perfect to just, you know, pack up and take on vacation. It'd be used on a lot of different skin tones, a lot of different people for a lot of different occasions. Overall, I definitely support Tati Beauty as a brand. I will link her website down below if you want to go check it out. This is her palette, and then she also launched the Blendiful, which I need to clean mine. Don't tell Tati. This is her Blendiful. It is a kind of makeup puff sponge. I used it today and I haven't cleaned it yet. But I know she got a lot of kind of hate for this product. There was some issues with it to begin with. I guess I got a good one. I really enjoy it. I definitely think that this is worth it. I believe this one, it came with the big one, and then a baby Blendiful was $18. I definitely think it's kind of an interesting, I mean, it's not anything really new. It's like a puff, but it's kind of a puff, but it's a puff that you can use to apply foundation and blend out your concealer, which is what I did today. You can apply powder with it. I think it's very versatile and definitely something that I enjoy. Again, I will link her website down below so you can go and kind of read up on the Blendiful and her palette if you would like. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Leave any comments, questions, or opinions on high-end makeup, drugstore makeup, books, anything you want down below, and I will see you next time. Bye.